We're really interested to hear about you. Take it away. The stage is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, guys. Yes, Pico is a personalized fan communication platform, and what we do is we help teams build personal relationships with the hundreds and thousands and millions of their fans in an automated way. Engagement is a word that's discussed a lot about in sports, but actually it's not a real problem. Even during the COVID crisis, when there are no games, fans are engaging by nature. They're fanatics about their teams. They're commenting and liking. The real problem is knowing who you're engaging. And the reason this problem exists is that there are basically two types of fans. Those who have transactions with the team. So they're identifiable fans, buying tickets, merchandise on a newsletter list, but many more, and we're talking really many more, that are following them on social channels and on their website and app. So they're clicking, but the team cannot retarget them. Take as an example a team like a tier 1 team like Borussia Dortmund, and I'm sporting the shirt here. So they have around 500,000 fans in their internal CRM, but more than 31 million following them across social channels. So obviously some fans are overlapping, but in general, using simple math, we're talking about more than 90% of their fans being unidentifiable. They cannot retarget them. They cannot offer them personalized offers like we've grown accustomed to by seeing what Amazon and Facebook and Google are doing in the past 10 years. And it doesn't make sense. Teams have such a huge audience and they're not smart and innovative enough to leverage that. So as an example, just see what they're doing on social. For example, last season, they were having the last home game for Christian Pulisic before they shipped him off to Chelsea, having more than 200,000 likes, which is great. Obviously, amazing engagement. We came up to them and said, so what? What is the difference if it's 300,000 or if it's 100,000? Are you selling a single Pulisic jersey out of this post? And of course, the answer is no. And that's where Pico comes in. We turn the engaged, anonymous online fan base into identifiable profiles to support the team's business objectives. And these objectives could be direct selling of tickets and merchandise, but it could be just to capture email data or zip codes or driving app downloads. But also, knowing more things about the fans, the type of fans that they are, and anything that is sponsor related. A very important factor with Pico is that we do not ask the fans to change their behavior. So they don't need to download Pico. They don't need to log into any third-party website. They will connect with the team wherever the team has invested most. So in most cases, it's going to be Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Obviously, you'll have the Weibo in the Far East. That's where Pico is going to be. So we're going to help that communication take place in the channels that the people are on. So the way we do this is a 3-step process. The first one is we're going to ride the backs of the teams. They know how to bring the fans in. We're going to help them by providing fun gamification activations to be promoted either from their digital channels, like you're seeing here with the Haaland post by Borussia Dortmund. So that's one example. Or when games are back and fans are back in the arenas, they could also trigger these conversations from the big screens. Once that conversation begins, we immediately capture data from the social channels. It will be the social handle, the username, first and last name, gender, locale, and then we ask contextual questions that make sense. And it's going to be those data points that I mentioned before. It could be an email, it could be a favorite player or favorite team, or preferred merchandise. And why are we doing that? Everything is done to convert better. So obviously that's the goal. You want to convert better. Let's say you're having a Thanksgiving promotion or a Black Friday promotion. You want to be able to go to your fans and have a specific image of something that you know that they're interested in. So if we know that you're interested in the cap, you'll get that image. If you know you're interested in the jersey, you're going to get that. And if we don't know anything, you'll get the generic message. So going back to this example, what they could have done using Pico, having the same resources invested here with an image, just do a swipe up story on Instagram, have your fans engaged by asking them to vote for Pulisic's best moments in his career with Dortmund, potentially win a signed shirt. You're going to get out of those 200,000, you're going to get 50,000 into your database. And also at the end, you're going to drive them to purchase Pulisic jerseys, potentially for a 10% or 20% off. So there's a lot to gain here. So what we're saying is don't just do social for that, because that's 5 years ago. Now let's start, leveraging that. An important factor with Pico is the ease of use. Now you build it once, you can launch it from your website, app, Twitter DM, or Facebook Messenger. We're fortunate to be working with NHL teams, NFL, NBA, teams in the Bundesliga. More and more, especially during the COVID crisis, we've added many teams. And I think that the reason for this early success is just these numbers. Almost everyone who participates completes and shares data. Almost more than a third are clicking on an offer if there is an offer at the end. And if there's something to sell, then we're also seeing higher than industry averages there. Just to wrap up with a case study here by Borussia Dortmund, a single post that they had when they signed Erling Haaland added 12,000 fans to their database, and everybody was, very positive feedback in terms of the experience. And they've been very happy working with us, and we've added extensive activations ever since. So I think that wraps up, the quick pitch here. And of course, you can contact me at the email here below.
Well done, Yaron. Squeezed as much out of that time as you could, and probably that's why you got that little funding round closed nice and tight. Okay, I'm going to throw open a couple of quick questions. We're running a little behind on time. Maybe Dave, you have one for Yaron?
Yeah, sure. Look, I think Yaron, everybody buys into more and more sophisticated and intelligent marketing to be able to monetize these fans. The only question that I had for you is the supply of this data, right? How are you scraping data off social media? Are you partnering with the Facebooks and Instagrams of the world? How are you going to, because they're also, these platforms as well, their monetization model is advertising. So how are you going to sort of be able to split the pie with them and get good quality data as well?
Yeah, so in this GDPR world, and also very sensitive on their end with anything to do with data, and because also they want to monetize that, we're only getting the automatic data that I mentioned. So we're getting that the minute fans start playing. So that's one layer of data. Again, it'll be the social handle, the first and last name, the gender, and basically that's it. And then the additional data is, let's say, each team we partner with, we're going to have maybe 10 data points that they're interested in. And that's where our AI comes in. We're going to know which question to ask. So once, let's say you play one game, and you're going to provide your email. Next time, we're going to go for the next data point. So that's basically what Pico is about, managing that process. And then we have all the data. We store it. We're not the owners of the data. The team is the owner of the data, and we transfer the data to them.
Okay, fantastic. I have time for one more quick question. Maybe Iris, do you have one?
Yes, my question is very short. In Microsoft is very aligned with this sense, the value of the data, and they use the CRM to try to identify the fans. My question is, what kind of cloud are you using? And if we share the information with different dashboards, maybe like Power BI or other solution, how you give the information for your customers?
Yeah, so cloud services of Amazon, that's where we handle and process everything. And we can easily transfer the data to the teams and have them integrated into each, definitely the Microsoft and the Salesforce. So all these known services we're able to integrate. Usually it's going to be by having a unique identifier that is the same. If it's email, then it's going to be that. We can make things easier by even labeling the data points the same as they're labeled in the team's CRM. So the integration is pretty easy.
Fantastic, Yaron.